I was always a sponge. I absorbed everything that I observed. I'm walking. There's a ceremony that my school is putting on to celebrate Marshal Pétain, Vichy leader of France. I'm top of my class and we go up front. I'm marching and I see my teacher and he looks at me and I look at him. He says, "What are you doing here?" I belong up here. I'm a top student. "No, you don't. You're a Jew. Go home." And I hear this. I go home to my parents. What does this mean? I'm a Jew. I thought I was French. You see, my parents, they spoke Yiddish, but we spoke French together because I lived in France. The only holidays I celebrated were my birthdays. You see, my birthday fell right before Bastille Day, and I would see the banners and the marching bands and the parades, and I thought they were for me in the beginning. But I took Bastille Day as a good consolation prize, like any good Frenchman. Well, you see, yes, you were born in France and we speak French, but we're also Jewish, so you're both. So I took this as being both. There's a knock at the door, and the knocking continues and it continues. My parents rush into my bedroom. My bedroom's right above the white front door in our apartment in Montauban. My mother, always the optimist, "We're going to play a game. We're going to play the no one's home game." We hear 4 French policemen outside, and I begrudgingly go along with my mother's game. I'm a little annoyed. I want to go back to sleep. But we sit very still and we sit very quiet, and the knocking continues. We hear the 4 French police take turns to switch out to keep the knocking going. And then it quiets. One more knock at the door. This time it's followed by a man speaking Yiddish. It's my father's cousin. They've been rounding us up all night. You see, we had seen neighbors there one day and gone the next. We didn't know what was happening. There are rumors of work camps in the east, but I see my parents, the stress on their faces, and my father's cousin. They're scheming and plotting. We didn't do anything wrong. 3 knapsacks by the door. My parents had prepared them in advance with a change of clothes. Not much. We're going to leave France. My father sends me out into the night. Early morning. I go 1 block ahead. I don't talk to anyone. I don't look. I knock on our neighbor's door. He used to drive us to our landlord's farm. With some aunts and some cousins, we hide out at the farm. My mother goes to France to prepare some money, and my father and we go meet with an organizer to establish some guides. We've been waiting at a train station all day. We've been waiting and waiting. Our guides haven't shown. We see a man approach us. It's the organizer. "Where were you? You didn't go with your guides?" "No, we've been waiting." "Where are our guides?" "Your guides were picked up by the Gestapo." "Come with me." We follow him onto a bus. We follow his instructions. We pretend we don't know anyone. We ride the bus. Further, it's getting dark. The organizer gets off, and we start to follow. "Stop." The bus driver tells my father, "Don't get off." Further into the dark and further into the night, we ride on the bus, and the bus stops. We get out. We're at the forest, the beginning of the Pyrenees Mountains. I wake up on the shoulders of one of the guides. I'm small enough that I can ride on his shoulders, and he carries my knapsack. We don't know who these guides were with, but what choice did we have when they said, "Come with us"? We walk for 4 nights, mainly nights, through the Pyrenees. I'm able to sleep on the shoulders. Some rest is found when we lean on a rock or on the floor of strangers' houses. For 4 nights, we walk. And we make it to Spain. We live in Spain for 10 months. I go to a boarding school. I even learn Spanish. But the fear of deportation is getting stronger. I didn't want to leave France, but my mother would tell me, when the Germans go home, we will go home. But the Germans didn't go home. I realize I'm not going back to France when my father tells me I'm going to the United States. the United States had finally decided to take in some refugees, and I was one of the children who was allowed to go. For 28 days, I sail, and I make it to New York. Cardboard boxes line the tables of the Jewish orphanage in New York. I've never seen these before, but all the other kids seem to know. They take the cardboard and they just pour it into their bowls and they eat. I never had American breakfast cereal before. It was fine. There wasn't a good place to find a croissant in those days. I'm well lucky. At the orphanage, I have an aunt and uncle who live in New York, and they come and they take me. I live with my aunt and uncle. They have 2 sons, and they're both gone in the war, and I stay with them. I go to school. I'm small in my class. 1946. My parents are allowed in to the United States from Havana, where they had been staying for the war, and we're together again. We learn that it wasn't just rumors. It was something much, much worse. We're regularly attending memorials. My parents decide that the climate in New York isn't quite suited to them. We go to California. From California, I take my ability of being a sponge and I apply it. I study behavioral science. I get a few degrees. I join all the human rights movements. I fight in the civil rights movement. I fight for liberation. Because for me, never again means never again for everyone.
I'm left without words. Thank you very much for telling the story. As you were telling it, I was, of course, visualizing those events. And absolutely, never again to anyone, anywhere, should be our course. We are living through times now that we never expected, and we hope we will be able to get through and overcome in the same way that we have in the past. Thank you for keeping the story alive, informing others and future generations. This is the generation that is actually, your generation is actually witnessing what we experienced. Thank you.
Henry, I promise to tell your story and to keep your memory. Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
And here's a book that has our stories. Keep it and continue the good work. Thank you.